I'm Erik Kessels. I'm creative director of KesselsKramer. This is a communication agency in Amsterdam, in London and in LA. We started the company in 1996 and work in many different countries and also work alongside many different disciplines of communication. When I was 5 years old, I always wanted to be a shop window dresser, but after 1 hour I thought it was a horrible job. Later I went to a graphic design art school. From there on I started in advertising quite early on, when I was maybe 21 or 22. Yeah, nowadays you see that you can cross over with many different disciplines. So nowadays I work for advertising for certain clients. But I also curate exhibitions, I make a children's TV program, I teach in a theatre school and I do exhibitions myself, so it's a bit all over the place, but that is quite nice about this era in time. Also with the arrival of internet years and years ago, that opened up a lot of things. There's more a democratization from a lot of disciplines. So I mean, nowadays everybody is a photographer, everybody is an architect, everybody is in advertising. So there's many amateurs coming around us and who trying to do also good things. So that means in the end, having a good idea, that will be the biggest selling point for creative people. I sometimes curate exhibitions, either with art or photography or with designers. One time I did an exhibition called Graphic Detour, and these were either graphic designers or artists that made a detour. So the artists, they made a detour by ending up at graphic design, or the graphic designers departed from graphic design and ended up somewhere else. What I did is I selected 8 of them and then I teamed them up almost like a blind date with a company, like a shoe company or a metal company, a company making boats or a candy factory. Yeah, like this blind date already says it, like somebody gets totally out of their comfort zone. There's no match together and almost a mismatch, and that creates something very important, I think. Something very important in the creative process nowadays, even more than ever, is also to try to make mistakes, you know, like deliberately sometimes make mistakes in the creative process, because otherwise that's the only way to create new ideas. One of the projects that I did recently was also dealing again with the fact that we live in an image renaissance almost nowadays. I think people before lunch nowadays have seen more images than somebody in the 18th century in his whole life. So this fact kind of intrigued me, and I got like a request from a museum to make an installation how a photography museum in the future would look. So I worked with that idea with the enormous masses of images. So what I did, I downloaded 24 hours of images from Flickr. And you have a program to do that. You start it, and after 24 hours you stop it. And then on a hard disk there were 950,000 images. And after that I printed them all, just for real, just as normal photo prints. And then they were all chucked into a space, and almost like creating these hills full of photographs where you could also walk through, you could pick them up. And in this way, it was in a way a physical representation of with how many images we live every day. People reacted to that quite good. And I mean, when you walk into the installation, it shows also a bit like what is the blur between private and public nowadays. I mean, people put things on internet, on Flickr. Everybody can look at them if they like, if you find it. The privacy is often gone in that way. Yeah, I think that sums it up a little bit. The fact that nowadays having a very strong idea is something very essential and more key than ever. After having that, you can blur with a lot of different disciplines.